It sounds like a movie, a space rescue mission, an out-of-control satellite, a team of engineers, but it's not. Scientists based near Oxford in England will spend the next few months trying to do something that's never been achieved. Steer a spacecraft in orbit to grab a satellite that's tumbling around the Earth at almost 8 kilometers per second. Guided using an array of laser and radiometric positioning devices, Astroscale's LCD chaser vehicle will use delicate thruster movements to match the target's chaotic spinning motion so it can latch onto it with a robotic arm. They're not just doing this to prove they can. This is a business venture, and success could give Britain's space industry a head start in the race to solve a problem that's threatening the viability of future space investment. There are more than 8,000 tons of useless space junk zipping around the planet, made up of around 26,000 objects wider than 10 centimeters that could smash a satellite to bits in a collision. That could knock out vital functions from Earth observation to disaster management, navigation, weather forecasting, and remote communications. It already happened in 2009 when an active Iridium communication satellite collided with a defunct military satellite made by Russia. The US, China, Russia, and India have added to the debris problem by testing their ability to blow up a satellite with a missile. The assortment of orbiting rubbish now ranges from tiny scraps of discarded rocket stages to Envisat, an observation satellite as big as a London bus and solar arrays wider than a soccer pitch that's been drifting out of control since it failed almost a decade ago. There are more than 1,900 active satellites in low Earth orbit. Now, Elon Musk and others plan to launch as many as 10,000 more to offer broadband internet services from space. That investment boom could be short-lived if more collisions cascade into further smashes that cause a mass of debris that leaves the most useful portion of space unusable for centuries. The world got a wake-up call in 2019 when a European satellite was forced to change its position in orbit to avoid colliding with a communication satellite operated by Elon Musk's SpaceX. If British companies can corner the market for pulling space junk out of orbit, it would be a rare cause for celebration in a national space industry that's faced years of underinvestment. The UK's departure from the European Union has been painful for the country's space industry, which traditionally leaned on European partners for engineering expertise and help with managing complex projects. The UK is the foremost military power in Europe and a permanent member of the UN Security Council with a nuclear deterrent. Yet France, whose economy is similar in size to Britain's, spends far more on space and has its own well-funded national space programme alongside its involvement in the European Space Agency. Brexit means cooperation with the EU in secure government communications, cybersecurity, and new areas like quantum computing is now effectively over. Britain has been denied access to the top tier of Galileo, Europe's answer to the US military's GPS, after investing hundreds of millions of pounds in the navigation system and supplying many of its major components. Through all the confusion over Britain's future in space, one thing everyone seems to agree on is there's an opportunity to carve out a niche in cleaning up orbit and managing space traffic. The UK has expertise in space law and regulation, powerful military radar, and a centre for monitoring space weather. Its diplomats have been working quietly for years to build global support for norms of behaviour in space, from designating clear orbits to ensuring spacecraft owners pull down their equipment at the end of its life so it burns up on re-entry. Musk and Jeff Bezos could be among the first to spend serious money on removing space junk. The first generation of their satellite broadband constellations will need to be replaced after 5 or 6 years, and they'll need someone to sweep the orbits clean to make way for thousands of newer, more sophisticated satellites. Here, the UK's shoestring space budgets might turn out to be an advantage. Astroscale says it's had to produce its solution on a small budget. That low cost could finally be what convinces the owners of satellites to open their wallets and subsidise a new push for cleaner, safer skies. This is How We Move. I'm Tom Pfeiffer. For more on the future of travel, follow us on Quicktake and Bloomberg.